I'll request Professor Narendra Srivastava sir, Department of Geology, for his lecture. This is the lecture 1, Plagiarism and its importance in research. Sir, please.
ऊपर आएगा
जी सर, बिल्कुल आएगा। इसको सर ये खाना है, यहाँ पे स्विच करिए।
नहीं कोई बात By the permission of Honorable Vice Chancellor, the program is initiated and I am very much thankful to Honorable Vice Chancellor and all dignitaries present on the dais as well as the student connected offline or online. Here, the topic of plagiarism is very significant nowadays. The term was at first derived in the 1620 when a poem was stolen by some other poets, and plagiarius, a basic word of the Latin word, it is the Latin word, that is the plagiarius, and the plagiarism is derived from the Latin word plagiarius, that means the kidnapper. In English dictionary, it is referred as the kidnapper. So, it is clear from the derivation of the word that when you kidnap, four things. Commonly, we understand that only the language is, if we have stolen the language from the any paper or any thesis, then it comes under the plagiarism. But it is not true. Generally, all four factors of any writing or any thesis, that is the language, thought, idea and expression, all these four are included in the plagiarism. Now, the academia, globally the academia and in India also, the UGC is emphasized to check the plagiarism from the academic world and particularly associated with the publications and thesis. I have some limited time as your convener is suggested, because from the 2 p.m. onward, another work or another session is initiated. So I want to give a fundamental information for the plagiarism to students, because mostly the students are gathered here, and I am very happy that all the rooms, smart rooms particularly, are completely packed by the student today. At first, what is the process for the plagiarism? There are three types. Particularly, it is the computer-based retrieval checking. Plagiarism is nothing but it is the computer-aided or computer-based retrieval checking. And the three modes, commonly the three modes, softwares are prepared on the basis of the three modes. The simplest software is based on the text-based detection method, and this type of software is only responsible for the checking of language. Second one is the citation-based detection method, because just after the completion of this brief information on the software, I again comes on the what types of the plagiarism are included in your thesis or in paper, and in that stage you will see that the citation is one of the important part for your thesis and your paper writing. And the second type of software is based on the citation based, that is that software checked your language from the citation, that is from the reverse, and that is more difficult because you included the citation or references in your thesis, but the facts present in the citation are not included in your paper or in your thesis. That means that particular type of the software is responsible for the reverse checking. That is from the citation to the language. And the third one, that is more difficult, and it is referred as the fingerprinting software. That is more difficult. That means fingerprinting, because we are all mostly come from the zoology or botany, and it is a common part that we observe the DNA fingerprinting. That is DNA, like the DNA fingerprinting is responsible for the identification of any person or any culprit. And what? And here, likely the DNA fingerprinting, here the software is responsible for the fragmenting your complete papers and thesis on the basis of the nature of your writing. Because each and every person has a specific writing pattern. And if you collected some parts from the one paper, some part from the one paper, some part from the another paper, that means you make a thesis or a paper. That means the nature of the writing is different and it is referred as context character. The fragmented part is referred as the context character, and then the software is responsible for the analyzing of the context character, and after that the context character is responsible for the matching of the context character, and then the software determine a midpoint, and then the software analyze the maximum and minimum part deviated from the writing pattern. Then it is the more difficult. And what type of software we use, that depends on the software or the agency. But here, one thing is important. The UGC is one, which I want to say here. The UGC is one. Just I am saying that the plagiarism is the computer retrieval system. And it is responsible for the within testing of the within plagiarism and global plagiarism, both. But here in India, and particularly in the universities of Bihar, because the UGC for the local determination of the local plagiarism, UGC repeatedly issues the letter to post your thesis on the InflipNet. That is responsible for the local plagiarism, checking of the plagiarism of the local at the local level. But here, repeatedly the UGC is writing the paper, repeatedly the governor house is communicating the letter to put your thesis on the or your inflip.net, that is the autonomous body, and in this way the InflipNet is determined to create a database. Whensoever any university declared the 500 and 700 thesis and awarded the 500 and 600 degrees, but their database is not available in the InflipNet, then the retrieval system is not in a position to check the within university or within local derivation. Of course, it is responsible for the detection of the plagiarism from the global availability of the global level of the documents available from the globally, but it is not possible to detect the local level of the plagiarized text. So here, the number of software, and each and every software has a different nature. Which type of software you use, it depends on that part. And each and every university, some universities has a separate detection center and separate software that is responsible for the detecting of the plagiarism. Then these are the common features. Then we come on the at present. If you observe that the what types of plagiarism is available on types of the plagiarized context, and commonly it is divided into the 10 types. If you study the degree of the level and what types of the copying and pasting are used, it is based on the, it is divided into the 10 points. First is the clone plagiarism. Clone means just we use the context of the any paper and paste it another way without any change, but of the different worker. Then it comes under the clone plagiarism. Second one is remix plagiarism. Remix means you selected some part from here, some part from another paper, and you mix here. Third one is the hybrid. Hybrid also represents as the remix. If you observe the word remix and hybrid, both are the appears as the same outcomes, but there are some difference. In the remix, you do not use the citation. वहां पे आप क्या करते हैं कि उसको citation को आप यूज नहीं करते हैं. आप दो जगह को रिमिक्स किए, but you not mention the citation. But in the hybrid, you mention the citation, but one citation is mentioned and one citation is absent. In this condition, it represents the hybrid nature without the referring the citation from the both sources. Third one is Control C plagiarism. Control C, that is copy and paste. You observe the commonly you observe the copy the some context and paste here. It may be वो आपका भी हो सकता है. आप अपने भी पहले के प्रीवियस जो आपने पेपर पब्लिश किया है या प्रीवियस आपने जो थीसिस सबमिट किया है, बिकॉज विदिन जो चेकिंग हो रहा है रिट्राइवल सिस्टम, इट इज नॉट अवेलेबल एज ऑन नेट, देन इट रिप्रेजेंट द C plus control C. Fifth one is find and replace. It is the find and replace means you select the common keywords and then you replace the major keywords and phrases from the context and you claim that it is my work. It comes under the find and replace. Second, recycle plagiarism. Recycle means if you suppose you produced a PhD before 5 years, 5 वर्ष पहले आपने कोई PhD प्रोड्यूस किया या 5 वर्ष पहले आपने कोई पेपर को प्रोड्यूस किया कहीं, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट अवेलेबल ऑन द नेट एंड अगेन यू पब्लिश, आपने उसको फिर पब्लिश कर दिया, दैट इज द रिसाइकिल प्लेज. फिफ्थ वन इज मेसअप प्लेजिज्म. आपने क्या किया कि फ्रॉम द डिफरेंट सोर्सेज आपने 12, 14, 15 जगह से लिया एंड यू मेस अप द कॉन्टेक्स्ट एंड यू नाउ मेक ए पेपर. It is referred to the mess-up plagiarism. And here, in the mess-up plagiarism, one thing again, you are not mentioning the citation. Why so? Just I am saying that in the computer programming, when the reverse plagiarism testing is observed from citation to the context, then वो आपके हर एक चीज को वो सर्च कर लेगा. When वो जैसे वो रिवर्स करेगा फ्रॉम साइटेशन टू कॉन्टेक्स्ट, then you detected all these things. यहाँ का ये citation है, the mention is present but citation is not available, or the citation is present but the fact is not available. The eighth one is the for not for. It is again significant. For not for means you selected cited part of the one paper, you selected cited part of the another paper, but from not original paper you collected the information from cited fragment of any original paper, but you do not consult with the original paper from which the citation is collected by the other paper and you included it. In that condition, for not for 404, it is observed that the for actually called the for not for, मतलब जिसको आपने cited किया है उसका फैक्ट वहां पे मिल नहीं रहा. For not for, जिसका आपने citation किया वो चीज आपको सॉफ्टवेयर में या फैक्ट में प्रेजेंट नहीं हो रहा है. Ninth one is the aggregator plagiarism. It is again you collected the some different parts and you aggregated the facts and prepare a paper and claiming that it is my work. Without the citation, you are claiming that it is my work or it is my thesis. Now, it is also a type of plagiarism. Then there is a types of plagiarism, and all types are selected or all types are detected by the retrieval system. But most important thing is the availability of the documents on the net, on the web. If they are not available on the web, then the detection software is not in a position to detect the facts. So both the checking, global checking and local checking are, or the availability of the global literal academic works or the local academic works on the net are necessary. So here it is necessary for the university level also that you upload all the theses on the InfluxNet. Without the uploading of the InfluxNet, it is very difficult to check the academic kept by the software. Now, it is, if you observe the collective literatures from the different sources, the plagiarism is not a simple problem. It is a very difficult problem, and now it is considered as a pandemic. I am not saying that it is pandemic, but it is said by the UGC. And UGC reported and declared, issued the letter in the 2017, a number of remedies he circulated for the supervisors, for the researcher scholars also. And the most important, he also defined the plagiarism, UGC defined, an act of academic dishonesty and breach of ethics. It is not my line, it is the line of the UGC. It is the line of the UGC that if you not maintain the ethical concepts and if you are not honest, then it is very difficult to check the plagiarism in the academic world. Now, after the amendment in the Copyright Act in the 2012, all the facts, even your designing, your representation, your graphical representation, your photographs, your video, your visual, all are included under the Copyright Act after the amendment in the Copyright Act 2012. Of course, you are free to claim if anyone use your publications, your basics and your facts. And I want to say that a news was published in the Indian Express in 2018, and in the 2018 in Indian Express, one teacher, that is S.C. Lakhotia of the BHU, and he was a member of the he was a member for a committee which is responsible for the scrutinization and publication of the journals, referred journals by the UGC, first UGC. And after the completion of the meeting, Professor Lakhotia was resigned from the committee and claiming that the more than 1,000 journals are included in the list that they are which are predatory of nature. That means the number of predatory journals are available. So it is also suggested for the students and for the academia to must check or cross check the journal before the publication. And the ICIJ, it is an international organization for the analysis of the published paper, claimed that in India only 15.6% journals published annually is has the quality, and all other papers, the percentage, are published in the predatory journals. So it is our responsibility, it is responsibility of the students to maintain the ethics, research ethics, or the honesty when we publish the data, when we publish the papers, and when we publish the journal, paper in the journals, or when we submit the thesis, submit the thesis to the university for the award of the PhD degree. And it is also your moral duty to upload your thesis on the net. Thank you for all, and thank you for the organizing committee for his valuable time, and thank you to all. Thank you, sir.